Hello, everyone. Welcome back to session 12 of our Pathfinder 2nd edition campaign.
Oh, really?
Pathfinder is D&D.
They'll sue us for saying
You're
that.
going to lose most of our money if you say that name.
The OGL is gonna come for us. Anyway, that's too meta for this stream. We only deal in non-meta jokes, right?
Legend Rising, official sponsors of OGL 1.0.
No, ORC. The ORC. We're official sponsors of ORC now. Because,
No, we love Hasbro and anything that they do. 100% support.
Yeah,
they can do no wrong.
Buy Hasbro stocks, everyone. This is my good advice.
Just send money in the post to Hasbro.
Yeah, I'd like to buy one stock, please. Right, anyway, how's everyone doing? Good?
Good. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right, ready to get started then. So as long as everyone has drinks and snacks and everything else that they might need to sustain themselves through 3 hours of this, let us begin. So last we left our heroes, they had returned to the city of Port Edron after their foray into the wilderness of Adzenir and also into the gloom. Returning to a more familiar place, the party have found themselves with a bit of downtime while the city braces itself for the upcoming election for the position of Sea Lord. So let's just start off on the next day, shall we? Because I think you were all in the inn as the last session ended. So the sun rises, the familiar sounds of the docks and hammers sort of smashing against anvils, and merchants dragging carts up the glassware out of your window. Rises you all awake. You notice that during the night, Cascus had returned, and his room is now it now has him in it. And you all congregate back downstairs as the barkeep is preparing breakfast for everyone.
Cascus, how you doing?
He just kind of throws some papers over some of the table he's at. He's Poxy Magins. Good morning.
Good morning. We found someone you might want to know about.
These are not the people I want to know about it. Who is this?
We met these dons for the Gem Cutters Guild, I think is the name.
Gem Crafters.
Gem Crafters Guild.
Mm-hmm.
They invited us round for a party. And they are apparently in deep with a lot of elven high lords.
You notice a twinkle in his eye slightly as he turns to actually face you.
There's Don Keita, I think, is the one that gave the offer. He deals in heartstones, or I keep forgetting the actual name. Is that the name?
Gemstones.
Gem hearts.
Okay, what can Cascas do like a society check to kind of gauge how expensive those things would be?
Society, sure.
Would society be the right one?
If appraise, do you have like a law like?
I got law in mercantile.
Yeah, do that.
Trained recollection. No.
I assume Cascus, like, the first thing he did when he arrived, like, was just look up what people were selling and what they were selling them for.
But yeah.
So you've heard of gem hearts. You're not massively knowledgeable about them, but you know they go for very expensive. A single gem heart can go for tens of thousands of gold. Okay. They're usually ground up into dust, and it's the dust that's sold.
Okay. So he writes down a quick note, and then you realise under the table is a kobold who's sitting there, like, throwing things at himself, basically. Very silly. And he goes, it's correct. Take this back to warehouse. See what you can find out about these. And it says on it, gem hearts.
Right, of course. And he grabs it. Just one thing.
Is
What's a Gemheart?
It does not matter what the Gemhart is. You go there. You go to the merchant warehouse. You ask nicely for information. You know the deal. You have coins for it, right?
Right. Okay. Another thing. Snot said he would be back soon. I'm not sure where he's gone.
It is not my business to sort out where you go every morning. You are grown kobolds.
Right. Right, boss. I get it. He sort of waddles off and closes the door behind him. The barkeep comes over with plates of bacon and eggs. Ah, right, here you are, all of you. Just to let you know, there was a letter delivered this morning.
Who?
It's well, it's got all your names on the front. Not you, Cascus, sadly.
Okay, I take the letter.
It's a sort of like nice. It's like a pristine white envelope with a red wax seal, and the wax seal itself has a sort of like 8-pointed sort of gem-like geometric shape on it.
Cool. I
Like sort of stamped into it.
open the letter.
As you sort of open it, it's you know it's a letter from the from the Gem Crafters Guild, saying your names. You are hereby invited to Don Keita's house party. The style is formal but classy, with a hint of fun. Please bring a bottle.
Bring a bottle.
Bring a bottle of your choice, and also the food will be provided.
And you are sure there is no name on my top? Can I see, please?
It says it says to the venturing guild party as well. Like it's an open invitation.
Is it a sniff? Cinnamon. I like these.
And a hint of lavender.
And a hint of lavender.
I like lavender. Lavender's good. It's a good smell.
Oh, I'm allergic to lavender.
Really?
Yeah.
But it's a great smell. It smells like purple.
Yeah, I know. It makes me sneeze. Achoo!
That was a very unconvincing sneeze.
Stop sniffing it then. Right. Also, I have to let you know that Don Iden has paid up for the next week for you, but after that, you will have to either start paying for yourself or find some accommodation. Just to let you all know.
That's okay. We've got something on the way.
Fantastic. Well, I hope you all have a good day. I'll see you around. He goes behind the back back into the kitchen. After a couple of minutes of you scoffing down your eggs and bacon and various meaty, hearty dish, the door opens and you see Snot come through. He's looking a bit dishevelled. He's covered in mud.
Dare I ask?
He just walks straight up to you and then puts a bag of gold down on the table.
my friend. He kind of just pushes him slightly with like one finger so he doesn't get the muck on him. Just so they're out of earshot of the party. Why are you bringing this here?
Open it.
Yes, I will, but is this really a good place?
Well, it's where you are.
Turns to the table and kind of opens the bag.
And there's 65 gold pieces in there.
He hides it from, well, doesn't hide it from the party, but he doesn't exactly offer it up. Very good. He kind of like takes one of the coins out and like maybe flicks it, kind of twiddles it around his fingers.
Do you want me to know where it's from?
Well, a long time ago I stopped asking questions where the money came from. I just call it a a good investment, but if you insist.
Oh well, if you don't want to know, I'll just keep bringing you money.
Not.
He's got like a devilish smile on his face. All right, fine. It was an investment.
Of?
I found a bag of stuff, and a nice gentleman offered to buy it off me.
Okay, was this done discreetly?
Well, I did it in the sewers, if that helps.
Okay, this is fine. And did anybody see you? Is there any chance this comes back to me?
Don't know. Maybe if they followed me.
I don't see an issue. Do you, what did you find?
Don't know. It's just a bag. It had loads of flowers in it.
Fair enough. Well done. Take this. Actually, leave it to me.
I've got 6 more in the warehouse, in the storage unit. If you want to have a look at them.
What bags of the stuff?
Mhm.
Well, how about is it similar things?
It's all the same.
Okay. How about you bring some of it to me? Just a little bit in your little satchel.
Right. And he turns around and rushes out the door.
Obolsome.
You know, I understand that you're a shrewd businessman and everything, but do you ever think that maybe sometimes they'd work harder if you were a little nicer to them?
You're trying to say that I'm not a good boss? Look at Ugo. He is perfectly happy, aren't you?
Ugo's just stuffing his face with food, with a smile on his face.
Look, I do not question your methods. We have come to impasse. We have come past it, and I'd hope by now that you would trust me enough to be able to handle my own dealings.
I'm not trying to tell you how to do your job. I'm just offering some advice.
Well, noted. And he immediately goes back to looking at counting the gold coins or something.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. So a few more, maybe half an hour passes, and then Snot returns. Over his shoulder is a sort of medium-sized sack. It looks quite big for him because he's short, but it doesn't look particularly heavy. And he just sort of carries it in. There's a sort of quite pungent smell enters the room when he enters. Pungent.
Yeah, I was about to say, is pugnant a different word that means something similar to pungent?
I think it's pungent.
It sounds. It kind of sounds like a word.
Us.
Quality is similar to a pug.
Yeah, it doesn't have. It's a pug bag. It's canon now. He goes over to the table, and you see like beads of sweat rolling down his face a little bit, and sort of the mud is a bit. You notice it's not really. It doesn't seem to actually maybe be mud. It might be something else, but he puts the bag on the table, and sort of prying it open, you look inside. That it's just filled bottom to top in like dried flower petals that are like purple. They're like almost dark, like a dark purple or black.
How many was he lugging around if he was sweating? I said a few.
Hanira and Cyan, you both immediately recognize that this is a bag full of Achidian.
Oh, okay. Where did you get this again?
I found it.
You just happened to find a bag full.
Well,
Where did you find it?
Well, Cascus always told us that that bargains are a good deal. And there was a storage unit not that far away from ours that for some reason it got sold. Like the people didn't pay their rent, so I put in a single gold piece for it, and no one else bought any. No one else bought it, so I got it, and this was what was in there.
I'm
Do
so proud.
you have any documentation about who previously owned it?
Nope. They said they paid in cash, and if you don't pay, it just gets sold.
You know, weren't we told at some point to watch for a Kidian in Port Edrin? At the Kayadar?
It's a city. There's lots of things going on. Somebody having a little bit of fun on the side. A little fun.
Gideon, is it allowed and just not safe, or is it not allowed and also not safe?
I think it's allowed, but most elves don't like mages. That's another point.
So we will not get in trouble for owning this?
You don't know what the rules are here. It depends place by place. In like Adana, where the where, under the lordship of the High Lords, it's very not allowed. Like it's only the priest guild, the priest caste who are allowed to use it. It's like there's a black market for it. In Port Edrin, there's just not enough elves for it to necessarily be something that like humans have had that much exposure to. In fact, there's not, as far as any of you can tell, there's not that many stories of any humans ever having taken it, so they don't know what the effects are.
So you wouldn't even necessarily have had reason to make laws around it.
Yeah, it's not been around really humans enough for that. This is a lot of Acidian. It's probably, I mean, it depends obviously like how far through the stages of the transformation and stuff people are going through, but like this could, like Cyan and Hanera, you both know that this could probably like be like a 3 or 4 months worth of supply for someone.
But what I'm hearing is that doesn't sound like 65 gold's worth for Gideon.
No, it's way more expensive.
And would we be aware of would Cascus at the very least be aware of this? Or would
you would
somebody be
definitely
aware of the street
definitely
value?
suspect that. There's no way a Kidian is
Okay.
that cheap. Like
All right.
65 gold for that amount is
Okay.
very cheap.
So you're telling me this is a Gideon that we mentioned before.
Yes.
Okay. This strikes me as quite a lot.
Yes.
So I suppose my next question is, and he kind of glares at Snot, is how much should this have sold for?
Well, you always told me that money is better than no money.
I tell you lots of things, but this is the question I'm asking right now. Do you know this was a Gideon?
No, I don't know what a Kidian is.
Okay, I have got a job for you. I need you to go back to the sewers, go back to the networks, and find out how much the street value of this stuff is, okay? Kilogram, whatever the weighing measurement is. I don't know if we have metric in Sweden.
Did they rip us off?
I think they very well ripped you off, and this will be deducted from your salary if you're not careful and don't do what I say right now.
Right, well, I'm going to have a word. And he takes a knife out of his belt. He's like, all right, and he's like, starts waving it around. I'll get him. And he starts storming towards the door.
I do think we should investigate that storage unit.
Why? I do not want to start uncovering stones that might dent my business.
Because there might be money in it.
Well, hold on. If we go in there, right, and we find some things that should not be here, and we have to raise it with someone, or I mean, we would not do that anyway. My point being is that I don't want this coming back to me now that it is my name.
Snot throws the keys to you and says, "Is Unit 621B? It's actually technically in my name, but what in mine is yours, Master."
Okay, well, we will get that changed. He writes it on another piece of paper.
I don't want it to come back to me, but I'm going to change it to my name.
Yeah, man. This is his.
Yeah. And then, so Snot leaves.
Okay.
You know, it's because we were told to keep an eye out for a Gideon. I understand that you don't want this coming back, but if we can find out where this is going, we might have information to sell to Don Iden.
Or do we find the source of this supply and we sell on? This is a good idea.
We could sell
I'm,
it to that.
I'm sure there's room for both.
We could sell it to that assassin's guy.
Great idea. Yes, you are natural. Natural at this. And there are no laws here. This is fantastic.
Just have to find him.
Okay, fine. Just tidies
What-
up his papers.
If we find assassin and what to stop him just kill all of us?
That's true.
I do think he's just out for. See, here's the thing. He was out for the elves. Didn't try to attack the rest of you. Could be he just didn't get to you. But he's turning elves into marbles, and he's related apparently to the elven end times. Not the human end times. So you might be safe.
I like this. So, how long do we know where this place? I assume it says, right? It's not just like.
It's,
He didn't just give you the
it's
name, he
literally
didn't just
opposite.
D&D.
Yeah, it's literally opposite your story.
Oh, okay, fine. The warehouse thing, yeah, cool, fine. Okay. Well, I got a couple of letters to post. I spoke to our good friend Tarrant yesterday.
Oh yeah.
He's okay. He's okay. I'm trying to hire a bunch of them, the oarsmen, with the promise of riches. I do not have them yet, but I'm sure we will find a way to unlock the river into the lands of Adenor and, help these people out.
And help you out in the process, I imagine.
It's just a small benefit. But I just need to post these 2 letters. So talk amongst you and do what you need to do, and then I suggest we head off.
Actually, I was hoping of investigating the Guildhall, casing that out a little bit more, but I can take a look at that later on in the week after we've dealt with this warehouse.
We need to buy new clothes for the party.
We do need to buy new clothes for the party.
So I'm just assuming that basically every night you're going to spend a few hours just like casing it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. So I'll just let you know after a couple of days. of
I might spend a couple hours in the day just to get
that's fine,
to see if there's any extra blind spots.
That's cool. Cool. Yeah. So what would just everyone like to do then?
Clothes shopping?
I'd quite like to look at the storage unit.
I would like to go and get that chain sold as well.
Well, if folks are gonna look at the storage unit, I might as well come along. Could do clothes shopping after.
Yeah.
I would like to show you something signed while we are there, if that is okay. Slightly discreetly.
Okay. Am I in trouble?
No. I'm just holding a good friend to his word.
Okay.
Okay. So so you pretty much all want to go to the docks then.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Henning, what are you going to go along with them?
Oh yeah, I go to the docks. I have my own business.
Cool, fine. So yeah, after you finish up your meal, and the bartender comes out, takes your plates away, and sort of sees the almost like puddle of sewage that's been trodden through the floor, and is like, "What happened here?" It's just like as he grabs a mop and starts mopping it up. But you literally just all get up and just leave them with the mess and leave. So as you walk towards the docks, the first thing on the way then will be the storage unit. So there's like rows and rows and rows of locked up sort of oak bolted doors that are effectively just like garages. That have a bit of space. Cascus, you've got your one, which is slowly being filled up with just tat. That's not and the other one I can't remember what his name is. Snag and Snot. There we go. Have like just collected, and you sort of after peeking around in there, you're just like, oh god. But you do also see hidden at the back are like 5 more bags of Akidian.
There's a table in there. And there's like a desk basically. It's hidden, as you say, amongst all the shite. I think I just got demonetized. Sorry.
Yeah,
and-
demonetized.
And yeah, there's some stuff there that I wanted to show you. I'm signing a bit as well, but
Okay.
that's fine.
That's
Cool.
cool. And you want to check out the other one?
Yes.
All right. So getting the key, you close up your storage unit and you go to the other one. As you open it up, there is a strong smell of what you now know as Akidian. It's a sort of fruity smell, like very planty. It's very noticeable. It's unlike anything you smelt before. It's maybe like a combination of like extremely pungent rosemary, which would smell nice if it didn't just sink into literally everywhere. But again, as you're looking around, there is some boxes, and at the back there is like a large oil painting that is hidden up. This storage unit is hung up. This storage unit itself seems a bit smaller than your one. It seems to be maybe about half the size, and it doesn't seem to go as far towards the back as yours.
Is that like an invest? Is that something we notice?
Well, yeah, that's quite
Okay.
obvious.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like this large oil painting. It's like a picture of some old guy, almost like an aristocratic portrait of this guy with like a big mustache and shaved head. He's wearing like, I guess, some sort of like Livari attire, some sort of merchant don, clearly.
Okay. Before anyone touches anything, this is all mine. So
Of course.
if I see anything being swindled, I will know to report you to the police.
I would never steal from you.
Or the authorities.
I say eyeing something.
There is a lot of tat in here, to be fair.
Did you say
Yeah.
Did you say the unit was like smaller than?
Yeah, so the other one probably goes maybe 3 meters back. This one's probably only like 1.5 meters back. Although it looks like it should be the same size as the other unit because they're like standard sizes. But it is like a brick. It is all bricked up at the back.
I wonder. And Ugo's just gonna go to the back
Hang
wall
on.
and like knock on it.
So the oil painting covers obviously most of the wall, but knocking on as you knock on the bricks itself, it does seem to have a hollowness behind it. There is like a bit of a hollow.
I'm going to investigate the painting, see if it has any like hidden buttons or is on hinges.
Yeah, make a perception check for me then.
Okay.
This whole
Is
chisel
it-
sorry.
Is it public or? Oh,
Yeah, that's
sorry.
That's right. What were you gonna say, Cassius?
I was gonna give him clue in, which what's it called? It gives you a circumstance bonus to the check equal to a circumstance bonus to investigating your subject from pursue a lead. Basically, I was going to try and pursue this as a lead and then suggest, but it was going to clue in
Oh, that's fine.
to help him out there.
What other leads are you pursuing at the moment?
I'm bidding it, so I'm going to change. So at the moment, it's black bead. So it's the black bead stuff
Yeah.
that we found, and then the second one is the elven brooch, the investigation that Don asked us to do, which is now, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, fine. That's cleared up.
Completed.
Okay, well that's fine. What's the bonus that Cyan gets to that?
Thank you. Bear with. Pursue a lead is the bonus. It's a +1.
Yeah, so it's an 18. So the painting itself it just seems to be a painting. It's hinged at the top. It's sort of held up just by one nail. And as you look behind it, there does seem to be like a door that it's covering up.
There's something behind this big old painting of a man. So, Cascus, do I have permission to remove this painting?
Fine.
Okay, I try and move the painting.
Okay. Yeah, it's not like super heavy, but getting someone to help you with it. You just unhinge it from the nail at the top and just put it to the side of the storage unit. There is a locked, bolted shut door that separates the two halves of the storage unit.
Can have a look at this. I have thieves' tools. Can I make a check to see if I can pick the lock?
Yes. Yeah, of course.
Cheers. That's a thievery check, right?
That's the thievery check.
Stack.
So the lock itself seems to be quite well made. They've clearly invested some form of money into locking this place up. So unfortunately, that check, as you're fumbling with the lock, it just doesn't seem to be budging.
They really want to keep something hidden there. What kind of door does it look like? Is it like a metal door or a...
It's quite thick oak, reinforced with like steel bars.
Are the hinges on this side or the other?
The hinges seem to be almost like built into the brick itself. So it's sort of like the brick is like rounded on the side, so the door can sort of swing open both ways. It seems. But the hinges themselves are sort of like embedded within the wall. And it seems to be also bolted, like, from inside as well. Like, it's got, like, a lock on the front, and then it's also got, like, a dead bolt or something in it.
This,
I can try and... Can I and just stay with the door and try and do it over a bit of a longer time, or...
Yeah, I mean, you can spend as long as you want trying to break it. You will eventually break it.
I'm gonna go ahead and do that then.
Okay, it might take a day or two.
Keskis, if this is your unit now, is there not someone with key?
Well, this is me. I have it here. So it's not gave it to me.
Did you try the key?
Is this key not to this?
No, the key is for the front door of the lock.
But, I mean, surely a door is put here by owners of the whole place, not by owner of single unit. No?
We could at least try it.
But there's only one key on it. It's from the front, I assume. Is that right? There's only one key on it, right?
There's only one key.
Does it look? I mean, turning it over, does it just look like a key
It looks like it might fit the lock.
at the front that we used to get into the
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it might fit this lock as well.
Okay.
Maybe it fit
fine.
both.
Let's try it to find what is there to lose. Turns the key.
As you put the key in, no, it's one key.
Oh, there is another key somewhere. Does anyone recognize this fine chap here? Is there like a signature of like an artist's mark or anything on it that might give us an indication of who the fellow in the painting was?
Yeah, make a perception check for me.
Yep. Doop-a-doop-a-doop. Oh, yeah, sorry, beg your pardon. I always forget it's just on the left. Pursue lead. Yes.
What did you get?
Sorry, I put it as private. I'll do it again.
Oh no, I've got it. 19. Yeah. So the artist's signature. It's in a very cursive style. It's quite hard to read, but you're pretty sure it says Nocella.
Okay.
It's not an artist you recognise.
Okay. Well, I can take note. He takes note of it, and he has an idea. Sure, he get one of the little ones to look into that.
Okay. So I've got that guildful to investigate, but I can spend a fair bit of the day here, I think, trying to break this. Might take me a little longer, though. So, I feel like this is going to backfire. Hanera, you go to these places a lot. If I give you my measurements, how about you pick something out for me?
Okay.
And I let Hanera know measurements and things.
Okay, all right. Hanera, obviously, I assume you're like beaming. Okay. Cool. So you're gonna work on that, are you?
Yeah.
Cool. Roll me 2d6.
Okay, slash R2d6.
Okay, that's how many hours of work it's going to take to.
Oh, okay. What time is it now?
It's the morning, so it's probably 10 o'clock. So you'll probably be doing this until 9 p.m.
Yeah, that's fine. That gives me some time to case it in the evening.
That's like with breaks and stuff, you know, like.
Yeah, but like I can, yeah, I can. It still gives me some time to look at the guild hall in the
Yeah.
evening and things.
Oh yeah, no, it's a hard lock to break. Like,
Yeah.
they've clearly put a lot of effort into, you know, not wanting anyone to go in there. All right, so as you get onto that, then the rest of you leave Cyan at the storage unit.
Sorry, can Cascus show Cyan something you wanted to show him?
Oh yeah, go ahead first.
He takes him into the Cascus's the Povera's storage unit and to the table at the back. And on the table are a number of papers, and there's like a pinboard almost, with a bunch of, there's like a couple posters, notes, and like those pins that you see going from, you know, A to B, with like string connecting them. A few anyway, not many. And he sits down and he goes, so, do you remember when we were having our little reconciliation the other night?
I remember very clearly. Yeah, you wanted me to stab your brother or find some other way to kill him.
That is correct. This is my information, and I am willing to pay you handsomely to assist in this endeavor.
Okay.
We can get you a key to this place if that is useful. But I would very much like your assistance with this.
What do you need me to do?
Well, the first task is to track down the movements of my elusive brother. He, as the charter owner of the Purple Bank of Reef, has a large security detail in the docks, and that's where operations are held, fairly nearby. I do not know much about this building. I do not have schematics. I do not have any information that would give us a clue as to his location within said building, and I can only operate with the information I have. So, if you do have a couple hours to spare, it would be great if you could have a look.
I could probably do it tomorrow in the day.
Very good.
I've got the Guildhall to case tonight. I'm sure I can take a night off the Guildhall tomorrow.
It is not urgent work. This it is just bad for business, and I hate him. So
Just a quick question. Well, a couple. All I know about what he looks like is that he doesn't look like you.
very perceptive with you.
Ooh. Is there like a poster of him somewhere here, or?
I'm sure you could find oil paintings dotted around of him. His suave look and his fake charm. I can look into it for you.
I will need a face to know who to kill. But what's his name again?
His name's Arov Pofirev.
And what kind of business does he run?
He runs the charter. It is it's a merchant company, effectively, right? There are a number in the city. He is the head of one, except formally. He operates a number of businesses, and I tell you, to be honest, I have not tried to inquire too much on my own because I do not want to be spotted. He would be intimidated by my presence here, and it's like part of the sign at the front that says Purple Bank from just kind of falls onto the ground, you know, because it's just made of like moldy wood and boards, right?
Yeah, there is a smell of like kobold in here as well. And you,
Like a little
you
dung
look over
pile
and,
or something in the corner.
yeah, there's like a sort of bed that they've made out of just scrap bits of wood and like
Yeah.
a nest almost.
I'm not going to ask you why you want him dead, but do you have any idea how you want him to die?
I do not
Or
care.
is it just dead?
Dead, please.
Okay.
Spare me the details, but yeah, preferably without any any link.
Close.
Okay, so are you gonna leave Cyan there to sort of like work on the lock?
Yes.
Okay. As Cascus leaves, Cyan, you see, you feel a tap on your shoulder, and you see Nyx just sort of fluttering around.
Oh, hey there. How are you doing?
Are you really gonna kill him?
Nyx. What do you think I was going to do when I find Ignis? I have to start somewhere.
But what if he's not a bad person?
Do you want me to be positively clear with you, Nyx? I don't think. I don't believe in good people. There's or bad people, really. I want to do what people think is good. But at the end of the day, good people do bad things, bad people do good things.
She sort of flutters there for a moment and just sort of looks a bit defeated and kind of half turns away from you. I thought you were a good person.
Listen. If I kill this man for Cascus, it saves a lot of people.
How? Cascus isn't much better. Would you kill him?
I would kill a lot of people for very similar reasons. I don't think. Do you remember what the Kayadar said about Cascus? He's
I wasn't
not.
really listening.
He's not much of a bad person himself. I don't think even. Despite him saying all this, I don't even think he wants his brother dead.
So why did you so easily accept it? You could have challenged him.
I could have. Do you think that would have helped get him on side to protect the Rodrons?
She looks like, yeah, she doesn't really know what to think. And then after a couple of moments, she just vanishes.
Oh, I'm gonna have to deal with that for a while. I kind of say to myself.
As you kneel down and start picking the lock. Right, as for the rest of you, suavely walking down the main street into the docks, where a bunch of merchants are starting to set up their day's businesses. Ugo, did you want to go to that blacksmith again?
Yes. I want to go with bring Cascus with me for backup.
Okay. So yeah, going back then in that case. So going back to Aaron's.
So on the way, I'd kind of explain the chain to Cascus, basically, don't want.
Just explain the chain quickly.
So the chain to the Cascus. There's a thing we can do where we explain things with our characters.
It's like playing a role.
Yes, the chain on the board, the weapon. Apparently it is adamantine. Apparently is worth lots of gold, but not that useful as chain. So I figure we sell chain, get some money. Maybe replace with bronze chain. Look much nicer too.
We can think about the chain. In fact, if you really want, you can buy anything you'd like within reason. Consider a favor. You've been very good recently. Great initiative.
I would like to buy bronze chain for.
Oh my god.
Really?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
I would like to. Ball is very nice. Is will hit things hard, but
Okay. And you know what we could do with the rest of the money we make from it? We could invest in the business, which means you could get an even bigger bronze chain at some point.
Ooh.
How does that sound?
All
Sure.
right, as you enter into the blacksmiths, you hear the banging of anvils and see as the smelt, the forge is firing. The burly dwarf, Aaron, takes off his goggles and turns to look at you. I told you it'd be a couple of days until the thing's ready.
Oh, I have not come for the plate. It is I have come to a decision on chain. I would like to sell and instead replace with bronze.
Right, very good.
Just to add in, we would also like the excess money as well.
Sure. Well, I mean, you know, as a purveyor of fine earth materials, I can only do it at scrap metal rates. So that would probably be about 300 gold for that chain.
Hugo just looks at Cascus.
Can I do? Is it worth doing a quick mercantile check to check if that's a good deal?
Yeah, go ahead.
That is a nat 20, 30.
So, it's a bit under market rate, but because obviously the chain is probably going to be resmelted and refashioned, it's effectively like an adamantine chunk. So, yeah, it's about 200 gold shy of what it would normally be.
Okay. Is there any scope for haggle?
There is, but if you want to get closer to the market rate, it might take longer, and you're going to have to find a particular merchant who's more willing.
Okay. Well, this doesn't sound like a. This sounds like a quick thing on the side that took 0 seconds. I think let's just go for it. Ugo, this is a good deal. This will do.
Okay. Yes, please.
And can I just inquire, what is this plate?
Oh, he is making some bronze breastplate for me.
And how much?
I believe it was only 8 gold.
Have you already paid?
I think so.
Yeah, I think you paid.
Yes.
Well, put it to expenses, and obviously you do not have to pay for that. This is off the job.
Yeah, I use gold we find on adventure.
Ugo, I insist.
I mean, if you want to do things, I do not mind. It is up to you.
He hands him 8 copper.
Ooh.
The blacksmith sort of raises an eyebrow, but he didn't say it. Right. Well, anyway, nice doing business with you. Again, I'll have the breastplate in a couple of days. So, are you staying somewhere? I can let you know when it's ready.
Yes. We are staying at the what is it called? The Tavoli.
Okay. Yes, I know it. Very well. I will see you then.
Thank you.
I'll hand deliver it. Why not?
Oh, great service. We'll see you there.
Good. See you soon. And he's sort of, as you are leaving, you hear him just like jingling the adamantine chain and sort of giggling to himself. It's like that dwarven sort of like, oh, shiny.
Nice.
Yeah, so I've just
right,
just got the ball now.
Yeah, so he's
for now.
handed you 300 gold, given you a receipt for the transaction, stamped with all the relevant guild markings as a proof of purchase. All done.
Nice.
Is
As
Hugo
you-
just carrying the money? Or...
I'll put it in mine for now, but we can sort it out later.
Right, what's everyone else? What's the other plan? You wanted to go get
Okay.
clothes.
Like clothes.
Are you going to Mahatta's Hats and Dress? Is that as a suggested
Yes.
place? Were you saying something, Henning?
No, I was going to say after that, Henning would like to go and have a look at the ships again, but we can do the
Sure.
hats first.
Okay. Well, you're going back down to the glass fair then. A short little walk. You see, just down a side alley is a little quaint, almost cottage-looking shop with kind of like stained glass windows. It's got like potted plants on the like hanging plants and hanging planters on the outside. There's a nice little sort of like a bench just outside that people can just sit down at, and there's like a smell of incense wafting out of the open windows as you enter the building. It's nice. It's almost got a very homely feel, except for where there would be like tables and chairs and sort of pantries. There's literally just rows and rows and rows of clothes racks with like really finely made clothes on them. You hear like a buzzing sound coming from the other room, and sort of peeking through, you see this hunched over dragonborn lady, sort of just like with a press, like sort of spinning a sewing like machine that she's like pumping up and down. It's sort of like she's sort of like running strips of cloth through it. She turns around and sort of glances at you with her eye and sort of squints a little bit. Yes.
Hello. We've been invited to a party, and we need some clothes.
Well, she stands up and gives a sort of very deep, graceful bow. She's wearing a sort of like very flowing purple dress. Her skin, her sort of scales are like bright red, but there's like sort of hints of like black across her where her eyebrows would be if she had eyebrows. You're not quite sure if it's makeup or not. You can't quite tell whether she's like dotted makeup sort of on her face, on her scales, or whether that's just the color her scales are. But she bows, and all her sort of like jewelry that's hanging from her neck jingles. And as she stands up, she and sort of stretches out. She's sort of like almost close to 7 foot tall and very skinny, very frail looking. She says, "Yes. When do you need it by?"
Oh, when is the party?
The party on the invitation is in 3 days, I think. Something like that.
3 days.
3 days. You do not want it. Well, I have plenty of clothes already made, but I'm not sure I will be able to make clothes for. How many of you are wanting clothes, by the way?
To
Myself.
3 caskets.
Cascus, I assume.
Cyan.
I don't know if Cascus would want to spend the money on it.
I don't imagine Hugo's particularly fussed, right?
He won't have particularly expressed an interest. Earlier on, he thought he could just wear his armor.
Well,
Bronze
I guess,
bronze
pretty
armor
much give
sounds
anything
pretty
to
fancy for him.
Yeah.
guess it's just 3 of us then.
Cascus
Very-
looks fabulous all the time.
Yeah. Very well. What sort of style are you hoping for?
Formal, yet fun.
Formal yet fun. Well, you've come to the right place. Right this way. We have clothes for men, women, anything in between. How about? And she sort of reaches over. Her arm like really long. She's got quite a long wingspan, effectively. She sort of reaches far behind one of the clothes lines, and you see that there's like 4 or 5 clothes racks that go quite deep into the walls, just with like hundreds and hundreds of clothes on them. She unhooks one of the dresses and pulls them over. It's this sort of like flowery, bright blue, gold laced sort of dinner dress almost. That doesn't really it doesn't really fit with a lot of the fashion here, but it does look a bit more fun. She says, "This is not quite elven fashion, but there are some people who would wear it in the city."
Do you have anything else?
Yes, of course. She puts it back and she rumbles around a little bit more, and she takes out a sort of like bright red, sort of like it's a little bit plain, but it's got details like on the shoulders. It's got almost like puffed shoulders. It's got like really nice like hemming and stitching all around it, and it's like hand stitched, so like in like little like almost elven patterns of gold around like the neckline and down the arms and stuff. Would you like something with sleeves or without sleeves?
Without sleeves.
Without sleeves, very well. I'll put this away. She goes back, and then eventually What sort of thing are you looking for?
Something that's more in the style of the town, because all of my clothes are from home, so I want to do more Port Edron style.
Ah, very well. She says, more Port Edron style. Well, you know, this sort of thing is the fashion for Donias these days, and pulls out a sort of almost like masquerade ball dress. It's like sort of dark. It's quite hard to tell whether it's really dark purple or black, with sort of like strips of white lines running down it. And it hugs the figure quite well. It's sort of a bit more puffy towards the bottom. It's quite a long dress. But she says this will go well with anything. If you wish to buy a wig or a mask, they are very well known amongst the sort of aristocracy of Orthaid, as well as the Lavari people. It is a fine dress.
Yeah, I'll take it. How much is it?
This one will run you 35 gold pieces.
Woo!
But we also do rentals.
Yes.
If you would rather that.
I would rather a rental.
Right. How many nights would you want it for? Just one?
Just one.
Very well. That will be then 5 gold for the night.
Okay, do I pay now?
Pay it now, and then you can pick the gown up when you are getting ready.
Okay, and then I'm also looking for men's attire for my friend who's not here.
Well, men, they tend to wear anything these days, don't they? What sort of thing do you know he's looking for?
He likes black and cyan.
And cyan. Well, there is much fashion based around sort of nice, almost suit-like clothes. Maybe with some like puffy sort of tights and like long stockings, and like a long jacket that goes the back goes to about the knees.
How much would that be for a rental?
It would be the same price.
Okay, yeah, I'll take it.
Very well. Do you know what his sizes are? I can
Yes.
always hem them.
I'll give her the sizes.
Very well. Thank you very much for your custom. She looks over at you, Henning. And
Well-
what sort of thing would you like?
Definitely formal business. I want to look as important as I really am.
She sort of like goes very close to you and like looks like into your red eye, and she says, you have a very fine feature which you should wear clothes to match it. Your current clothes do not quite work.
What do you have in mind?
In my to my people, long ago, a red eye was a sign of great wisdom.
Well, you flatter me, but yes, if you could find something to match my features, that would be perfect.
She sort of strokes her chin a little bit and says, "How about something distinguished yet scholarly?" And she sort of reaches over to one of the clothes racks and brings out a sort of quite nice, quite plain sort of long jacket, but she matches a shirt with it, which is a sort of like bright green, sort of like flowery shirt. And she says, "Oh no, this is green, not red. Sorry, I have trouble with seeing different colors. My people have that." And she puts it back after having looked at a label saying exactly what color it is. She brings it out, and she brings out a red one. And it fits the sort of black jacket and the sort of black trousers that she pairs with it.
Yes, I think that'll do. I'll take it.
Very well. That will also be 5 gold.
There you go.
Great. Well, I will have them ready for you on the night. Is that in 3 days' time?
It is. Yes.
So I assume then you are going to Don Quita's party.
We are. We're their
oh.
distinguished guests.
Yes, a lot of people have come here saying that in the last few days. She says, hence why I'm so busy recently. But very well, I will have it ready for you. Thank you all for your custom.
Thank you. We look forward to collecting our clothes.
Yeah, and she sort of, at the second the transaction's done, she isn't being as friendly, and she just goes back behind it, and starts working on the sewing machine.
Let's get out of here, shall we?
All right.
Yeah.
So, what next? What do people want to do next?
Well, Henning wanted to go and have a look for
Oh, yeah.
ships again.
Okay, so you're going to go to the docks, are you?
Yeah.
All right. So by the time you get to the docks, after just doing a bit of walking around the city and shopping and stuff, it's probably coming up to about 11. So most of the ships are out now. Like a lot of the fishing vessels are out at sea. You can see them in the horizon, sort of just bobbing on the horizon line. And a lot of the ships that are chartered to leave will be leaving in about an hour. So you see that like a lot of people boarding ships. You see a lot of merchant dons getting ready for traveling, like having their servants carrying massive bags full of luggage. Unfortunately, there does not seem to be any boats that you recognise at the docks.
Is there somewhere I can find like a ledger of boats that have docked?
Yeah, there'll be a ledger at the like charter house or whatever it's called, customs house.
I'd like to go pay a visit to the customs house.
Yeah, very well. So going to the customs house, there's not a massive line. There's a few people just checking a couple of things in. So you manage to get to the front quite quickly. The person behind the counter looks up, seems to be quite a disinterested young lad, and says, "Yes, how can I help you?"
Yes, hello. I just wanted to check whether you've had a ship dock in sort of the last week or so.
Very well. What is the name?
The Black Kiss.
The Black Kiss. Just 2 minutes. He gets up and goes behind the office, and you see, like through the office window, he just gets out a big book and just starts to flick through it. After a couple of moments, he closes the book and comes back. Yes, there was a ship, maybe 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks.
It stayed for maybe 4 or 5 days, and it is set off for the city of Kelrius.
Kelrius. Where is that?
Kelrius, it is on the main island of Acate. It is a city owned by the Adna Merchant Company. It is one of our twin cities.
Okay. Right, well, thank you very much for your help. You've been very helpful.
Next, he sort of looks at the next person in the crowd.
Okay, well, I'll head back to the group
Okay, cool.
Could you put that? Sorry, could you just put that location name in the chat? So I can
There you go.
spell it? Thank you.
If you go to the Adana map,
Adam.
it's at the bottom of the island of Akate, as it's here.
Oh right, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Right, so yeah, so what do people feel like doing? Or is there any like particular downtime actions people want to do, or
Just breaking the
Oh,
store.
yeah! I would like to go for spells.
go spell hunting?
Yeah, because I sort of forgot to look up the rules maybe a bit, but now I can get a spell book, so I need to buy a spell book, I guess. Or do I just
yeah.
automatically get one?
It's probably best to go and buy one for the sake of consistency. On the glassware, you have walked past a magic shop a few times.
Mm.
It's Don
Yeah.
Crispino's magic store.
Okay, so I took a feat as well. Oh, where are my feet? Don't say it. Magical shorthand.
Every time I hear someone say feet, I imagine that cursed Kirby meme where Kirby has feet, like really human feet.
No, I've never heard of that, but now it's in my brain.
Let me find it.
Don't worry, I'm sure we can find you a picture.
No, please, no. Why? Why have you done this?
Yeah. So what you need to get a spell book, and you can like learn wizard spells now, right? Is that right?
Yeah. Arcane spells.
Nice, cool. Okay, so yeah, do you want to go into that shop then?
Yes, please.
It's a sort of small little shop, but this time instead of clothes, it's rammed head to toe with like books and paper and ink and scrolls. There's a few wands as well on sale, but they're hidden behind behind the desk. There's like a glass counter which they've got like a few wands and some other little artifacts. The guy behind the store says, "Welcome, welcome. I am Don Cristino. How can I help you?"
Hello. I am looking for a spell book.
A spell book. Well, I'm sure you know that the finer the book, the finer your quality of spells, huh?
Is that bullshit?
It does sound like bullshit.
I just want one that's not gonna fall apart.
Okay. Well, we have, our standard quality books are, of course, high standard for me. But we have a sliding scale. How much is your budget, would you say?
5 gold?
He sort of raises an eyebrow. You're one of those wizards. Very well. I can sell you a little book for that. Yes, of course. And he just like reaches behind his desk and just gets out just an old scraggly notebook. It's got the finest paper.
Do you have anything nicer?
Yes, that's what I have been saying. Huh? I would say that probably 7 or 8 gold for something that is going to hold up under all sorts of terrain, and I assume you are a traveler.
I am.
Very well. You want something that will not fall apart at the start, the first sign of cold or damp, huh?
Yeah.
So leather bound, I'd recommend.
Okay.
So that will set you back about 8 to 10 gold if you want a leather bound book.
Okay.
That will come with ink, and it will have enough paper for what I assume will be your career, however short that may be. Is there anything else? We do deals on potions. We do deals on spell scrolls.
Yeah. What spell scrolls? How much are your level 2 spell scrolls? If you meta.
Level 2. Well, let me just see what I actually have. Because I would quite like to know what I actually have in stock right now. Just bear with me.
It's okay. Shall I tell you the ones that I'm interested in? I just need to. I can't remember what they're called. I'll just.
He says, yeah, he says, well, I can get anything that you require in stock if you desperately need something specific.
Yes, I was looking for the knock spell.
The knock spell. I know it well. I can make you one of those scrolls today if you need.
Yeah.
Yes, just bear with me. So what knock is level 2, right?
Yeah.
That will cost you then 12 gold pieces.
Oh, that is cheaper than I thought it was gonna be. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, 12 gold pieces it is. He says, come back in an hour's time. I will have it ready for you.
Okay. Thank you.
And he goes behind the thing, and he closes the door behind him, and you start to see like blue light just like being casted in some like that's going under and through the door frame. It's just like going. So just waiting around for an hour. Eventually, he has that. He also, as he's sort of putting the scroll down on the table, he says. We have some things on sale at the moment. We have a wand of widening for 90 gold pieces.
Oh, I can't afford.
Well, we also have a shark tooth charm. That is on sale currently for 40 gold pieces.
What does that do?
Are you asking him?
Yeah.
He reaches behind the counter, the glass sort of cabinet, and takes it out. It's a sort of bracelet that's made of dried seaweed. It looks like it's quite fragile, but actually, as you touch it, it's like it's quite solid. He says, well, when you activate this bracelet, it makes it more likely for you to do very well at something, or do very badly at something. There's no like middle ground.
I'm okay, thanks. Would it be 20 gold for the book and the spell?
20 gold for the book and the spell, yes. Yes.
Okay. Cool. I
Very
hand
well.
over the gold.
It is nice doing business with you. If you ever need anything, come to me. I have the best rates on the glass fair.
Okay, and now I'm gonna try and learn the spell, which I'm not sure how it works because I know you have to make a check, but I don't know. I'm not sure how it works, so I'm just gonna have to look at that up.
Learn a spell. It's an exploration action, so it'll take less than a day to do. So you have to spend another 6 GP, and you got to pass. Is it a Arcana check? Oh right. So okay. Here we are. So you can learn a spell with any of your traditions, but you must have a corresponding skill to do so. So is it a wizard spell?
Yes, it's an Arcana spell.
So it'll be an Arcana check. And the DC is going to be 18. And if you succeed, so you just need a success. If you fail to learn the spell, but you can try again after you gain a level. And
I can try again after a week because I have a feat.
Fine. Okay, after a week. And if it's a critical failure, you expend half the materials. So let's say say it costs 6 gold. If you critically fail, it'll cost you 3 gold, basically. Worth of stuff.
Okay.
But it's it'll be an 18 DC on an Arcana check.
Okay, can I go back to the Taverley and do that then?
Yeah, sure. Give me a check.
Come on.
Nice.
Yay!
So that's just a success. So you expend the materials and learn the spell. So that's 6 gold pieces.
Cool.
And the scroll goes.
Spend
But you
an
have it in your
gold
spellbook now.
fee. Cool. How long did that? Oh, it took me 10 minutes, I think, because my feet
Yeah.
and
something
then a
like
spell. In that case, I'm gonna head back to the docks and use knock on the door.
that. He was
My
gonna break the
God.
door down. Okay. Doing everything today. Okay, cool. So, let's have a look. We make the target easier to open. Sure, fine. Cyan, as you're sort of like sweating, just trying to pry this lock open, you're like, God damn it, God damn it, God damn it.
Kind of grumbling in Elven about like the fucking having to deal with this and that and fucking bullshit. Grumble.
You hear a knock on the door of the storage unit, and opening it up, it is Hanira.
Oh, hello.
Hello,
What are you doing?
I've learned a new spell to help you with the door.
You've learned a new spell to help me with the door. Is the door stop be? Is it the stop being a fucking door spell?
Maybe let's try it.
Yeah, so I'll let you re-roll the thievery check to open it.
Okay.
You get a +4 status bonus.
Ooh.
Also, you owe me 5 gold for your rental clothes.
I just kind of throw it over and just go into this. Hang on, proficiencies, thievery. So +4.
Yep.
So 28 + 4.
Oh yeah, that's enough. So, Hanira, as you get out your spell book and for the first time cast a spell that you have tried to learn, your hands start to sort of course with arcane magic, and you just go bam on the lock, and it sort of jingles a bit, and then it sort of begins to glow with a sort of arcane sparking blue energy. Then as Cyan picks it, it's considerably easier to pick. And eventually it opens up.
Oh, right. We should probably wait for Cascus, but I'm just gonna have a look inside. Do you want to have a look?
I want to have a look.
Okay. You're gonna open the door up.
Yep.
Okay, so the door opens up. It creaks, and what you see inside will shock you. But we'll wait until after the we'll wait until after the break.
Number
Nice.
3 will shock you.
Yeah. All right. So do you want to thing in this room?
All right. Hold on to your hats. What are we calling them now?
69xxx.fun. Yeah, find level on
Yeah.
the best dating site. Great.
Yeah.
Sponsored
See you
by
after the
Raid
break.
No.
Shadow Legends.
Right, hello, welcome back. So just before the break, people have just been doing a bit of shopping, downtime stuff, and yeah, let's continue. What are people up to? What
What's
were we just
behind the
doing?
door?
Well, yeah, that's what just happened. Right, so Cyan and Hanira alone in here. Now that you've opened up the door, you see it's a darkened room. Obviously, there's like no light except for the light that's streaming from the outside, really going in there. There seems to be like a table of some sort. It's like a circular table in the center of the back of the storage unit. It's got like runes and markings all around it, and it's got like a sort of like kind of like it's not a pentagram, but it's like a 6-pointed star.
So a
on it.
hexagram.
It's not yeah, I guess it's a hexagram. It's not like it's not a hexagram. It's not like a Star of David.
No.
It's like the yeah, like the unicursal one.
Does it look kind of almost like a version, so the Pentasta? The kind of the iconography around that.
Well, this is interesting because the Pentasta is obviously 5, and the
that's
iconography is a 5, like a 5-pointed
Yeah. That's
star.
what I mean.
But this one this is a 6-pointed star. Yeah, it's exactly. And strange. It has a sort of ominous presence. It seems to be made of like a nice wood. It's like varnished. Doesn't seem to be anything else in here.
Mira,
Hmm?
I'm going to touch the table.
Maybe we should get Cascus.
I touched the table.
The table says, "Why are you touching it?" Nothing happens. It's just a table.
Okay. Mira, I touched the table.
Okay, maybe we should go and get Cascus now.
Yeah, we should go grab him.
Why don't you wait here so we don't have to lock up and stuff?
That sounds like a good idea.
Okay. So, Hanira, as you leave the storage unit, just out the corner of your eye, you see someone peering around a corner at you, and it seems to be someone wearing like a white mask, like a sort of, imagine it's just a featureless white mask with just a couple of eye slits, and then just like vanishes behind as they sort of notice you look around.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to Cyan and be like, "There's someone weird out here looking at me, wearing a white mask with eye slits for eyes. Maybe we should lock up and then
Okay, but what if we go and then they break in?
maybe you should lock yourself in."
With the spooky table.
I'm gonna lock myself in with the spooky table. That sounds like a. Wait.
You've picked
No.
the lock. You've picked the lock. You're gonna have to pick it again if you want to open it again. Like if you lock it, you're gonna have to pick it again.
Oh,
Like if you want to lock yourself in, you don't have the key. So
we could just wait here for Cascus to come back, and then I could stay with you for backup.
Did I let him? Would he have known how long it would have taken me, or?
who Cascus?
Hmm.
No, like Hanira literally just went straight after. Like Hanira and Cascus parted ways, so Cascus just thinks you're just still working on it. Just Cascus, I guess, knowing Cascus, you might not cheer up for a while.
You trying to say?
When I said lock the door, I meant lock the outside door.
Oh sure, yeah, you got the keys for that.
Yeah, we'll do. Should we just do that and then?
I can.
You can always see a Snag and Snotter at the I know a Metro game, but like they might be.
Oh
I'm-
yeah. Yeah.
How about? Tell you what, I can talk to people from very far away. I can try Cascus. I can try Ugo, and I can try their employees.
You don't know where they are; they're undetected to you.
Oh yeah, that's true. Fuck.
I'll go over and see if Snag and Snot are in the.
They don't seem to be.
Damn it.
Okay. Does there look like there's a lot of people outside?
No. These storage units are like no one really goes here unless you have a storage unit you want to go to.
I guess. I feel like if you go out there, you might get stabbed.
I feel
And
like
if
if you
I'm a-
stay here, you might get stabbed.
I think the safest idea would be to lock ourselves in until morning.
What?
I feel like this is just like some person wearing a white mask, right?
It's Halloween. It's just a
Or,
kid.
or you can make me invisible again.
Okay. Yeah, alright. And then what? And you
So-
go and find them, and I wait here.
Maybe so. Maybe you lure them out a little. And then I can grab them from behind and we can interrogate them.
Yeah? I don't know about grabbing random people from behind. That's not really
It'll be
my
fun.
style. No,
It's-
I think we should wait for the rest of the group.
Okay, how about this? You just make me invisible and I can make sure that he doesn't try anything like stabbing you while you leave.
You just want to be invisible.
I mean, yeah, doesn't everyone?
Okay, I'll cast invisibility.
Okay.
You hear Cyan just like very happily, just like, yes!
Lasts
Yeah,
for
you-
10 minutes.
You hear Cyan's pitter patter of feet as he's just walking alongside you. So you're heading out of the way. So you've locked up the storage unit.
Yeah.
Okay, so locking it up and leaving, because it's sort of like the storage unit obviously like all guides you towards one sort of exit. You're going to where the person was. As you round the corner, there's no one around.
Okay, you go get the others. I'm going back in the unit.
Okay, just wait outside maybe.
Okay, I'll wait outside. I will try and find a vantage point, like on a roof or something.
Sure, that's fine.
I'm gonna go
okay.
to the Tavoli to try
Sure.
and find Cascus.
Yeah, Cascus, would you be at the Tavoli?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. All right. So Hinera comes in, looking, I guess, a bit flustered.
We open the door.
Oh, fantastic. Should we go? Should we go?
Yeah.
The others are at the back. Go get them, and I will start heading over and wait at the door for you.
Okay. Are you getting the whole crew together?
Yeah.
All right. Is everyone else is back at the Tavoli chilling?
Yeah.
Cool.
Sure.
So in that case, you hear Hinera's plea to come with you. I see you're going, yeah. You bring in weapons and stuff.
I always got
Our
money.
weapon.
Yeah.
I suppose we'd have what we normally have, right? Which includes weapons.
Yeah, sure. All right. So you head back to the storage unit. By the time you get back, the invisibility's worn off, and you see Cyan just sort of sitting on top of one of the storage units, just dangling his legs, I guess, over the side.
Hey guys.
No one's come since you've been watching.
I hear you got the door open.
Yeah, there was also a weird guy in like this mask who was looking at Panera weirdly.
Well, that is slightly concerning. Shall we talk about this inside the locker?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I'm expecting what I'm expecting lots of wealth and riches and blah blah blah, blah and a table.
Yeah, so when you have a look in there, again, you see this sort of varnished, it might be made of maple or something. It's quite a nice wood. It's it's rounded. It's got sort of like very fine sort of embossing on the sides, and it sort of it has like rounded edges. As you look underneath Cascus, you notice that the center of the table seems to sort of descend down a little bit, almost like there's maybe like a hidden compartment or something underneath. And it's the legs come out from the bottom of this like, extra bit that would, it wouldn't just be thick solid wood, but there doesn't seem to be any drawers or anything that could potentially open it. And then obviously the legs just come out from there.
So Cascus is going to do he's got a few questions for this. Do you want me to do separate checks for that?
That depends what your questions are.
Or so the first one's more just an observation, but it kind of gets us a magnifying glass out slightly. Like how old do the rings? How old does the wood look? Like, is it quite old wood? The rings maybe on the maple if you can see it.
There doesn't seem to be any sort of wear and tear look to it at all. It seems to be, it's a bit dusty, but it's not. It doesn't seem to be
Incredibly
like
well made, right?
It's either incredibly like it's either new or it's been incredibly well looked after.
Okay. Curious, a very nice table. I do wonder this six-pointed star on the table. It seems like a symbol. The people here, they clearly had wealth to some extent, but why hide this? Unless there was something umbokoff to this symbolism, what it meant, what they did. Second question, he gets down on his knees and he's looking at where like a sensible distance for like a chair would be from the floor, like where chairs might be, and he's kind of looking for like marks to suggest that there's been chairs pushed down or things have kind of scraped against it.
So interestingly, the table itself seems to be, it doesn't seem to be like at waist height. It's more like at sort of mid-stomach height. So it's sort of the sort of table you could very much stand around. People wouldn't necessarily, you wouldn't want to sit around it unless you had quite high like bar stools or something.
Yeah. So the suggestion there is that it's ceremonial to some extent, or it's a.
It definitely looks like some sort. It has an occult sort of look to it.
And how is lighting in the room? Where does the light come from?
The only light source you have at the moment is basically just from the open door, unless someone.
I light a torch.
Okay.
Hey, Sang, can you point the torch light up at the ceiling, please?
Okay.
And anyone here got a very good, I don't know, smell for particular things? Incense, smoke?
I might be good at sniffing things.
Okay, that's a curious way to put it. Jump onto Ugo. Ugo, come here, please. Jump onto his shoulders and see if you can smell anything on the ceiling, like smoke or any suggestion that there was, what was going on in this room. If they had, it might just be torches. It could be anything else.
All
You
right.
might not smell anything.
I hop on Ugo's back and very much so just start sniffing all over the place.
Make a perception check for me.
You can have +1 for my what's the thing?
Clue.
I literally said it about a minute ago.
Clue in.
That's the one.
Ah!
Doesn't. This doesn't really smell like anything on the ceiling. No.
Okay, no, because sometimes when you have like a candle in a room or something that's
Sure.
particularly, it can
Yeah, no, I get
stick on
it.
the ceiling.
There's no scorch marks
Okay.
or any particular smell on the ceiling.
Ceiling's
Okay.
clean.
So I particularly
There is one thing. As you sort of brush your nose against the ceiling, it feels a bit damp.
Oh no, we're gonna get disintegrated.
It doesn't smell like damp. It just the ceiling itself almost feels wetter than it should do.
I prod it.
Yeah, it just
That's strange.
it's quite wet.
It's a very wet ceiling.
Maybe it's a leak.
What is above here? Does anyone know? Simon, you were dangling your feet over.
Just a roof.
Just a roof.
Has it been raining recently?
No. No, like the ceiling in the other part of the storage unit isn't wet.
Maybe there's something between here and the roof.
Be like a condensation, or maybe there's a lot of smoke or something in here.
Maybe.
Steam, sorry.
Yeah, the roof itself. So it's got like a sort of wooden roof above the storage unit. But the wall here in the storage units are flat. Like there is a space between the top. Between, like, there is like a sort of attic space, but there doesn't seem to be any way of getting in there.
Ugo,
Hmm?
we've got a big hammer. You wanna maybe break the ceiling open?
Well, maybe before we do that, we should look at the table more. I do not want to damage it irreparably.
Yes. I'm gonna start tracing my fingers on the star and just overall looking at the table to see if it's got any like hidden buttons.
As you trace your fingers along the star, like the actual paint inside begins to almost glow slightly as you like put a bit of pressure on there, and it sort of like lingers for a few seconds before like starting to fade.
I trace the full star.
As you trace the full star, you hear a click, and like a central part of the table sort of like turns a little bit, and then a sort of raised cylinder almost pops out of the table. It's just like a few inches high, and it has a couple of handholds. Like it's almost like you could potentially take the top off the table.
I lift.
As you put it down, you notice that there's seems to be a few books in there. Like old, dusty, leather-bound tomes.
Do they have any like titles on them?
They're long faded. These are old books.
Right. How many books are there?
6.
Okay, so this is a recurring number. How about we each take a book? Ugo, can you read?
Of course I can read.
Do not give him a book.
Not
You give
fast,
Ugo's book
but
to Yarrow.
Yarrow's still not around.
Fuck.
I mean, Henrietta could take 2. She is
I
quite
can
adept.
read.
Okay.
And Henning, I'm sure, as well. To become an alchemist, you must read a lot.
More than capable of reading, I can assure you, Cascus.
Are you like opening the books and having a flick inside?
I am.
So the first book that you open up, it's got like very small cursive sort of writing, a lot of like mathematical formulas, and also sort of sketches, a lot of different kind of sketches of very grotesque, warped, monstrous looking creatures, like humanoids. Like it's weird. Like as you flick through them, it's like there's something really dark and unholy looking about this book. And this is just the top one on the pub.
Okay.
Okay, well, my suggestion is we burn these all and pretend we did not see them.
Or this was in relation to the Acadian.
Oh, I hate it when you might be right. Ugh.
So, and we were again want to keep an eye out for the Acadian. We have to follow this through.
There are different clues. We could always look for the painting.
Oh, of course, but you know, it's good to follow up on numerous avenues in case one lead turns out to be a dead end.
Okay, well, I will put you in charge of this lead.
Okay.
and Ugo is just like reading through the book, like, oh, this book, it has pictures.
Yeah, as the second book that you pick up is a little bit different. This time it seems to have a lot of sketches of various creatures similar to ones that you saw in the gloom, creatures that had no faces, creatures that had, that had like strange warped, like they look similar to creatures you'd find on Erd, but are different, bigger, more grotesque, have been mutated slightly, that sort of thing. As you continue sort of flicking through the books, they all seem to be different. The third book is like weapons, all sorts of different like sketches and notes and writings about like various weapons that are like angled, curved blades, similar to the sort of elven shadesteel blades.
Do we understand the writing?
The writing's all in common.
Okay.
Yeah, like just flicking to random bits. It's like in the first book, you notice that under one of the grotesque, like morphed sort of humanoids, it says subject 26. and then it has some notes saying subject 26 complained of a headache, complained of a bad stomach, and then very shortly transformed.
So these are experiments.
Somebody's probably making a lot on this. Does the writing seem quite scientific rather than like religious? Like there's no,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's not prophetic. It's not like talking in any way about this as being
Like
No,
a cult.
This is straight up like some sort of magister wrote this.
okay. So it's
And
less-
and as you're looking through it now, like the books look older than they probably are. It doesn't have any dates on it, but the actual paper inside doesn't seem to be as old looking as the leather that like is bound it. It's quite hard to tell how old it could be. It could be, 20 years old. It could be 5. It could be a couple of years old.
Right.
Okay.
So these are going to be very. So this is in Port Edron. There were humans in the gloom.
or perhaps humans who found the way to transport those little beads out here and mutated creatures using.
Maybe.
perhaps.
But my point is, do you think this might be connected to the humans we found in the gloom?
I do not know that answer. It seems like a bit of a coincidence for us to just stumble into the exact same grouping that were responsible for, being as they were where we found them in that temple.
Well, it was less of a coincidence, and we were more warned to look out for this.
Well, the Kayad, it was more like a prophecy. Wasn't
Yeah.
It, about it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I do worry if we go too far on this one, our fate will be throwing up like those adventurers we saw on day one. Not that I'm an adventurer, but
You've signed on to the Adventurers Guild.
but it could change.
Well, as you're a member of the Adventurers Guild, you're technically an adventurer now, mate. Like it or not, we have an obligation to follow this through.
FYI, the 4th book seems to have loads of maps on it. It seems to have like a rough sketch of Adana, like all the islands. And then there seems to be like black splodges in certain areas. So there's one in Port Edron. And then there's one in Kelrius and there's one in Imiana. And then there's 5 or 6 in Rodrana in just random places across. And then as for Akate, there's a couple of like black splodges with question marks next to them. And
Yes.
the writing next to it says confirmed rifts.
Can we see these on a map or something? Where these locations?
Oh yeah, sure. Let me just add it.
I know it's maybe a bit annoying.
I'll add them.
New text.
And then there's like a few more splodged around, like here, and here, but these are all question marks.
What did it say again?
Rift, confirmed location of rift.
So this one is, these are question marks, yeah.
Right then. So we should probably think about investigating this possible rift nearby at some point.
Strikes me that this is not our business. Should we not be selling this information or finding a better place for it?
And... Okay. See, here's the thing. Someone saw Hanera here. They were wearing a mask. It's our business now.
Very much not. I would much. My lot is on the other side of this place. If my name is tied to this, then my business is in a very, very much compromised position. I would prefer to just leave a nice chunk of money here and leave, quite frankly.
Look, we can decide what to do a different time. But I'm taking these books.
You better find a bag for them then. You don't want people seeing us carrying that.
I'm sure my backpack can fit some of them in. Or something.
Is copying books a thing? Like,
It's a thing. It takes ages.
okay, fine.
There's no printing press.
Okay.
No, all the books are still handwritten.
Why don't we? Could we not just leave the books? No, we could not do. I mean, what is useful in this? Is there anything else particularly
I
interesting?
look in the book with the map with the black splodges. And I rip out the map.
Hey, Cyan.
Look, at the very least, this is probably the most useful bit of information we've got. We need to ensure that it's secured in case someone comes in here and steals everything.
Put the books back.
Okay.
At the back, as you're sort of like ripping the page, because the page is near the back. You just had seen it like when you were flicking through it. As you rip that page out, you see the back page, like the last like binded page of the book, and you notice that it has a guild badge on it, like a stamp. It says confidential, and it has the Ouroboros stamp on it.
Okay.
Which
I'm
one?
taking this book.
Which one's the Ouroboros?
Bankers Guild.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I would very much prefer not. These people have a lot of power, and it
Hey,
sounds
but-
very much like that they already know that we are here. So I very much encourage us to leave the book and all of its contents here, and I will even give a
Taking
few
this
to
book,
us.
this is actionable intel that we can give to Aiden to prove our theory that the bankers are related.
True, but it compromises my whole business venture. By all means, tell Don Aiden what you have found here, but leave the books.
I'm not leaving this book.
I do not follow. How does finding book with stamp mean that the bankers are doing?
This is their book.
Yes, but how is this linked to a Sea Lord?
I don't know if it is or not. All I know is it's pretty damning evidence that they're up to some shady fucking shit.
And the other two books are just more experiments. So there's 3 books in total that have like sketches and notes about like various subjects. In total, if you like flick through all the books and see just how many subjects there are, there's about 250.
We need to bring this evidence to Don Aiden tomorrow, and he can make sense of it.
Well, if you're going to do that, then I might have to let a couple words out to the banker guild, because I am not being held responsible for these.
You do that, we're dead.
We're going to be killed anyway.
Matt, do you mind putting yourself in push to talk? Oh, is it Zach? Sorry.
I don't know how it properly works on this. Like, I've tried it before.
Okay, well, it'll be alright for now.
But, yeah, how about this? We need to take this to Don Aiden. The bankers have at least, if that's their spy, which I imagine it is, has at least linked Hanera to this place. So, if we're so, essentially, they could. Great, now I'm distracted. They could link Hanera here, and something bad can happen to her.
Yeah, and you're already linked to me.
That is also true.
I do not think it takes a genius to realize we are all part of the same adventurers guild.
Of course not. But look, if we can bring this to Don Iden, at least maybe he can guarantee some form of protection.
You better. Fine, we take it to Don Iden, but we are going to impress upon him the danger this brings to my business and our lives, of course.
Yes. I would hope you would put your own life before your business, but, you know, I get what you mean.
Well, you never know with Cascus.
A lifetime,
Yes.
a lifetime only lasts a lifetime. A business can last generations.
That sounds like something Cascus has told you.
That definitely sounds like something Cascus told you. To
That
tell
sounds like
everyone else.
Cascus's family motto.
Exactly. It's
I
what
just
it's what they tell their business opponents before they smother them in their sleep.
Yeah.
It's like they've told their employees.
Oh my god.
It's bad about dying.
What is business now can be empire tomorrow.
Okay. Look, I've still got some casing to do, but I might have to finish that up tomorrow. We need to ensure these are safe and bring them to Don Iden as early as possible. If people would rather just I go and sort it, that's fine. If people want to come with, that is also fine. At least if I'm the only one that goes, it's only really me and the shitter, isn't it?
You hear a bang outside, like a thud.
Yes, we go out pretty sharpish.
Should we
Yep.
stuff the
As you-
books into like Ugo's backpack?
Sure. As you sort of go out, down the sort of row of storage units where you saw the person before, you see a couple of figures wearing white masks and cloaks, and they've literally just hit Snot around the head, and he's just fallen forward and he's like bleeding, like on the.
I pull
like-
out my sword.
They literally just dash away. As you sort of rushing over, you literally round the corner. Make a perception check.
Also,
Hang on.
also giving chase.
Yeah, they seem to have just vanished. It's really strange. You feel like they shouldn't have disappeared in the time you got there. You like legged it straight towards them. And Snot is sort of just like face forward with like a big gash on the back of his head.
Cascus goes down on his knee next to him and kind of cradles him slightly.
Can I do treat wounds?
Yeah, sure.
Is he conscious?
He's breathing. There's a note that it's like been stuffed into his pocket. Like his
It's
belt
not
pocket.
successful.
I read the note.
As you open it up, it's a little handwritten note that says, "We want our stuff back," and then it says Lucio.
Well, shit.
Lucio. Who's Lucio?
I do not know and I do not care, but this is it. I've had enough. We change your plan. You leave the books there. You give your stuff.
I'm not.
back.
I can't leave the books there.
Fine. You take my pin, and he rips off the Adventurers Guild pin, and just kind of throws it at him slightly onto the ground, and says, "I do not want to be a part of this."
Cascus, is your name on? Well, I suppose not yet. You are most linked to a unit, no? I am not sure you can walk away.
Hugo's right.
Hey, Nero, that's just a regular fail, FYI.
Yeah.
So after 20 minutes, Snot is still unconscious, but you managed to patch up. Like, he's not actively dying. But he's just breathing very shallowly. Like a little bit of a crowd is starting to gather, sort of further down the street, like seeing what's happening.
Can I pick him up and take him to the Pathfinder kind of holding storage warehouse thing?
Yeah, it's
Instead, I'm just kind of,
Yep.
I don't know, close us in or him in or whatever.
Yeah.
As you put him down, not put him down. As you set him down, he sort of begins to stir. He's just murmuring, "Ow, so
Are you-
it's bad."
It's not. Are you okay? I ought to have you getting killed. Come on, friend.
He sort of begins to stir a little bit and puts his tiny little clawed hand behind his head and just like, "Ow."
Be careful, please. You have taken a bit of a hit.
It was the person.
Yes. We saw. I am very sorry that this has happened to you. It is my fault.
He wants the drugs, he said.
Okay. He wants the drugs. Was that all he mentioned?
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe that's why they were wearing masks, because they have blue skin, because they all take a Kidian.
Or they're dealers.
Okay.
maybe we now have buyer.
So, I know what this looks like. Do we give the drugs back or do we get even?
Giving the drugs away. Well, I have. How much of it's left, Mike?
There's the bag that Snot gave you, and then there's 5 more bags in the storage unit.
Okay.
So there were 7 in total. He sold one for 64 gold, whatever it was.
Okay.
But this is the thing. Like, Snot was like, I thought he wanted to buy them.
Yes. It was silly for me to not do a proper cost-benefit analysis and to understand the market more before we started doing things like this. But no, we will not. I think we need to get a better sense of this organization and this Lucio fellow. If they seem winnable, I say we take the fight to them. Of course, those not involved, the bank do not. This business do not need to get involved if they do not wish. And then we beat them and take their market, or we just cut our losses.
So we're taking the fight to them.
Well, it depends. If it is not, its grouping is not associated with the Bankers Guild, then I see it fine. I do not get the sense that they were interested in what was behind the painting.
They lived in
No.
the sewers.
In this was.
Right.
They have there's like a small town down there.
Okay. Were there a lot of people armed, dangerous, or are they delinquents, drug users?
They were nice at first. They asked where we were keeping it, and I said that we would sell them at the storage unit.
Okay.
And then they grabbed me.
you remember what the man looked like?
There was a few of them. The person I spoke to, who originally set up the deal, he was just a normal looking guy, but the person that he introduced me to was their boss, I think. He was a young guy, no older than a kid really, but he wore a mask.
Okay, let's take a little bit just to catch our breath. But I suggest we find these people.
We can. And yeah,
We could always
what
make a
happens when we find them?
And we talk to them like amicable people they are, I'm sure, and we come to a mutually beneficial arrangement. What
Do you
can we
think-
offer them?
Do you think this looks like the arrangement of amicable people?
Yes. Have you never done this before? Little ruffle up. Ugo's done it plenty of times.
I don't hurt people who don't need hurting.
Oh, that's depends which way you look at it.
Nix is giving you a side eye, like invisible from everyone else. Just literally just staring daggers at you. So.
Press X to doubt.
Well, that is my view on it.
They said, Snot says, they said you have 24 hours to decide, or it would be war.
Excellent. And that demands a return the Gideon.
I don't think it was theirs in the first place.
I'm sure it was not, but they claim ownership just like we now do.
Why don't we just sell it back to them?
They would charge us a much higher rate than we could probably afford.
I don't think they want to pay anything for it.
What's the total value of the 6 bags, would you say? I mean, we're still...
Probably got it.
Asking Cyan or Hanera, probably it's hard to tell. It's extremely rare and valuable. Like on the black market, just like is money, printing money effectively.
Okay, very rich.
Imagine
Well,
like you found like 5 kilograms of cocaine on the street.
Yeah.
Like this is yeah, a lot, a hell of a lot.
Okay.
But what, like, order of magnitude, though?
Like you could start up if you were to sell it and somehow like launder all the money, you could probably start up a pretty serious business empire with it. Like, it's Breaking Bad level, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is serious money where people kill for it. Okay, we have 24 hours. And did they tell us where to meet them?
I think they just want to go back to where I went.
And they want the Echidna back into the locker.
In the sewers, I think.
Oh, in the sewers, make it. Askis just kind of sits and thinks and kind of contemplates.
Nix appears. Why don't you just give it back to them? Do you really need it?
We don't.
I'm just trying to think through the opportunities of us keeping it.
I might need it.
Hmm?
What if I start going insane?
I've
Because I
Have you
use
gone
magic.
insane yet?
No. I haven't used that much magic. It's only been a few months. How do I know how quickly the curse usually starts?
I mean, elves' lifespans go on for a long time. So, like, if you think about Aaron Shander, he was pretty held together in terms of like being able to do things. It's just his judgment was severely impaired by it, right? Like, so in fact, it doesn't necessarily make you like unable to be successful, or whatever. It might just change. It'll just potentially just change your personality over time, or cause you to see things in a different way. And usually the later stages, so like after like a long time of using magic, the later stages would be like a sudden insatiable lust for power that like you just can't control.
Ah. So does Achidian do other things?
Yeah, it doesn't just suppress that; it boosts magic as well.
Right. Okay.
And
not know.
it makes you faster, stronger. It sort of, you know, yeah, like it makes you a completely like a superhuman effectively, or super elf.
Henera, if a Gideon makes you stronger and we have lots of it, then surely we just feed you lots of a Gideon and then you go and beat them all up.
Oh, but then my skin will turn blue.
And she'll turn into some kind of weird mutant thing.
But
or
these are
die of the side of withdrawals.
yeah, that usually takes a while, right?
No.
It's like the amount you have. If you were to give it to someone who then developed an addiction, like they would take more than they needed. Like it would be impossible not to. But it's an option.
Nix is right. I do think we should give it back. Who knows what kind of situation they're in? If they're in the sewers in a town below there, who knows how they got there?
My gut instinct is that we should. I need to just. I will settle on a view soon, but I do wonder if I am not in a good enough position to challenge their organization. I do not know anything about it. It would be foolhardy to run in, so I think we use this opportunity to become acquainted with their enterprise, understand them, build a relationship, and then see them as a rival of sorts. Down the line, we cut their throats, so to speak.
Are you going to be cutting throats?
It's also a metaphor. I would not. I would usually get somebody else to. I do not mean in this instance I would actually have that happen.
After what they do to Snot, I do not want to. I do not feel comfortable being
No.
friendly with them.
And we have done this many times before. It is.
Yes, but not to Snot.
No.
Or
Particularly, what do you want us to do? We go in there and kill them? It's not going to work.
you could insure the lockup, and then when they eventually come and steal it, cash out on the insurance.
Are you sure you are not a megalomaniac or fairly shrewd in your past? No, I do not want to get the city involved in this. I think the very least we take it back to them and meet them in the sewer.
I agree. We should at least meet with them, try and discuss what's going on.
I think if we can find an opportunity to embarrass them, we should certainly take it, but it's not at the expense of our lives.
Do we bring with us, or is there somewhere we can hide?
What do you mean?
The Gideon. if we bring with us, then, maybe they have reason to just kill and take if there is lots of them. Maybe they are strong.
Like an insurance policy, like a bag hidden somewhere, one left or something.
Well, or maybe we only take one bag.
No, they should.
If we take all bags, then what do we have? If we leave bags hidden somewhere where they would not get if they kill us, then they have good reason not to kill us.
We could put it behind the door.
How secure is that? I mean, I do not wish to insult you, but we were able to get to the door. Who is to say they cannot get through too? I think maybe it's better if they do not know where it is. Do not have a reason to think it is where it actually is.
I have an idea where we could hide it. I have an idea.
What's your idea?
I know some young fellows who are helping me out. They have a good understanding of the lay of the land of the city and might know a good place. Admittedly, they might also steal it. I'm willing to test that theory. So Mike, there's a place. I don't know. Maybe we wanted to do it now, or what else other people wanted to do. There's an orphanage at 34 Gullwater Slide in the dog place. I think the dog. What's the dog place? I thought that sounded relevant. Reasonable.
So Dog Place is like the big slum at the
Yeah.
south of
Yep.
what's the city?
Perfect. Yeah. And while you guys were doing your business last session, Cascus was he was looking around the city, and he came across some orphans being beat up, and helped them out, and kind of took pity and is friendly with them, shall we say. And they're staying at that orphanage at that place.
Yeah.
I didn't know Cascus could feel pity.
Really, there are a lot of things you do not know about me. I suggest we take some with them, and at the very least, we could maybe ask a good place to hide it if we do not feel comfortable with them hiding it themselves. And then we take some of it with us to the sewer, and if you want to leave some behind the painting, that is also okay. Sound good?
Yeah.
I think that sounds
like
good to me.
Split up.
Okay. So,
Okay.
yeah, so I guess the easy one is just to leave some behind the painting and lock it up.
Okay. So you're gonna lock the door up again.
Yep, and I think Cascus will take Snag and Snot with him back to the inn.
Sure. Stag's still not around. He's still doing
Okay, he's still doing his
errand.
job. Yeah, that's fine.
But
Okay,
yeah,
he can take Snot to the thing.
fine. Okay. So what, to the tavern?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And then what's everyone else doing?
Going with.
I'm gonna see if Don Arden's office is open at this time.
Okay. Yeah, like it's sort of like maybe 2 or 3 p.m. So
Oh, I thought it was like in the evening.
no, it would have been the evening if you hadn't like broken into the
Right.
place sooner. So yeah, that's fine. So you're heading that way, are you?
Yep.
Okay, so you enter the guild hall and you go up to the top, and the receptionist lets you in to see John Iden, and he's just sort of like brooding out the window. He has like a half open book of notes that he's just been writing. As he sees you enter, he says, "Ah, Vanael, welcome. How can I help?"
There's something we need to discuss.
You've been approached, have you, by other guilds? What is the price then? Go on.
No, not that. Although we have been approached by other guilds, I'm not interested in heart gem business.
Okay, right. What is
Uh,
your business then?
I just kind of put down the book and the map.
Which book are you? Which book have you taken? The one with the maps in it.
Yeah.
Okay. He looks at it and says, "And this is supposed to be."
We found this with a series of other books. They detail experiments and mutations.
Experiments and mutations. Where did you come across this?
In a storage lot.
He raises an eyebrow. Do you know who the storage lot belongs to?
It's not for me to say.
Well, if you didn't know, I could find out. Information goes both ways, hmm? He flicks to the back of it and sees the banking guild stamp on it. He sort of stops for a moment and like traces it with his finger. Well, I think would it really be that obvious? The banking guilds are very secretive. They wouldn't let something like this slip through their fingers easily. We have to make sure that no one's setting them up.
It could be someone setting them up, but I thought, considering our recent discussion around my next actions, I feel like I needed to bring this up to you.
Do you know what the number of the storage unit was?
Off the top of my head.
If you, yeah, you just tell him. He says, "I'll have a look into that. Might be able to work out who it is."
It
I have
was.
many eyes across the city.
If I tell you this, it can't come back to us.
All information here is confidential. I hope I hope you would understand that more than most.
It was recently purchased by an employee of one of our members. We
But this-
didn't know that this would happen. Apparently, the lot was being sold because the previous occupants ran out of money.
Well, that doesn't sound like the banking guild.
No, it doesn't. There was a secret compartment in the back, hidden behind a painting. There was a table there with a 6-sided star.
Six-pointed star. He goes and starts flicking through a bunch of things. Yes, that's what I thought. Did it look like this? And he sort of draws the symbol it was, and put this over.
I nod.
I did always wonder what they were up to.
Okay.
This is the magisterium of Imiana. This is their symbol. A lot of people don't quite know what they do, but they have in the Grand Keep in Imiana, the most impregnable fortress potentially in the world. They have multiple floors which descend underground.
Oh, wow.
They run some experiments, but I never quite knew what. But that does make it more likely that they were to do with the banking guild.
Yes.
But again, why would the banking guild have a storage unit that they forget about or don't pay for?
Deniability.
I don't think it's that. They could have had all of these hidden in a place that no one would ever be able to find them in their fortress. This seems like it was smuggled out somehow. Maybe a leak?
If it's a leak, then their guild hall will more than likely have information. Do you think it might have something to do with the reason the Sea Lord was murdered?
Well,
Maybe
interestingly, I had some information come across my desk recently. On the night that the Sea Lord was murdered, there was also another murder on the docks. A magister.
A magister. So the Bankers Guild could be hired or working with the Magisterium to handle the leak, maybe?
The magisters of Imiana work for the banking guild.
Right.
They're their specific magisters for them.
So that could be why the bankers are here, maybe?
Potentially.
Closing leaks, investigating it.
But then again, if the Sea Lord was murdered, maybe he found out too much. Maybe he heard about it somehow.
That's... I have to investigate that guild hall. It's the only way.
I have to bring this information to the Merchant Prince.
See. What does that mean for us?
I won't tell them. Well, I don't have to. But if the banking guild are truly making a play for this position of Sea Lord, then we cannot let them win. And the Merchant Prince has to know about this and do something about it before it's too late. From what I can tell, well, from what I can tell, Elise, the leader of the banking guild, Elise Ferenkar, she has been buying up a lot of support from the key votes. The banking guild has made somehow inordinate amount of profit, and we do not quite know where from. They're flooding the city with gold to buy votes.
Out of curiosity, is there a sufficient drug market, perhaps, that we could look into?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
It's never been a problem in the city. But
What about the sewer?
This is where my expertise come to an end. My information is mostly focused on the business of merchants and finding out dirty secrets that may be used against them. When it comes to the slums and the sewers, unfortunately, I know just as much about it as you do.
I see.
So if there is a problem, it's well hidden. I know there's black markets. I know the sewers occasionally have a black market that goes on. And because the merchant prince has been so focused on security against the elves, he hasn't really dealt with policing his own people very well.
I see. So I'm going to carry on my investigation on the guild hall, see if I can dig up anything. I don't see any other avenue at the moment. If I do, I'll ensure I let you know.
Very well, Vinail. Thank you very much for letting this come to my attention. Do you want to take the books with you, or shall I keep them?
I'll take them with me. I also want to ensure nothing happens to Cassius or his employees.
I understand
Well
that.
said.
I understand that sort of loyalty. I will not stand in your way.
Thank you.
Very well. Be safe.
And you.
He ushers you out of the office, and you make your way back to the Taverly.
Okay.
Everyone's back at the Taverly. The barkeep is like, "Oh, murder now, blood on my floor." Look, you need to change the bandages up on that. He's bleeding through them. Come on, I've got something in the bag. He gets like a rag and some whiskey and just like douses the rag in it and just starts wiping away at the cut. And Snot is like wincing in pain as he does it. And he gets out a small little kit and just like starts stitching out the back of Snot's head. Now, you could have had a nasty accident, young man. And Snot says, "I'm 30."
In kobold years, or?
Yes, you are.
Yeah,
How long-
okay, well, yes.
how long
That's like
co-
12 weeks.
How long do kobolds live?
I don't think that.
11 days!
Well, Snot says, "Actually, Ugo, no kobold has actually ever reached old age, so we don't know."
Oh god.
Why don't you reach old age?
We just tend to die doing before we get to that point.
Get killed by no level of interest.
Yeah, that's fighting talk. The barkeep puts down the ale, the whiskey, and sits down and says, "You're going to tell me what's happened then?"
Look at
Fights.
Cascus and just kind of give eyes like, should we, or?
It's just a scuffle up. Unfortunately, when you are a shrewd businessman, you make enemies.
Yeah, I've been in the city long enough to know. I just need to know if I'm in danger, if my family's in danger.
You should be fine.
Very well. He gets that. Do you need anything to eat?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Sure.
Whatever he wants.
Okay, yeah, he just goes off and starts cooking. up
Lots of materials for cheese sandwiches.
some-
Stock up.
All right, is there anything else? Yeah, anyone wants to do while they're here?
I mean, Cass wants to go to the orphanage, I think, at some point, just to drop some of those bags off.
Oh, sure, yeah. We can do that next session, maybe.
I would like to just say that seeing as the spells that I cast, benefit everybody. If I buy a lot more, it'd be really great if other people could contribute.
Cyan's gonna throw you another 6 gold for the knock spell.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna say, seeing as, Ugo taking the hits benefits everybody.
I may go formula shopping.
Cool. If you send me a message of the sort of things you want, like before the session, next session, then it'll be easier for me to just do that on the fly.
Yeah, did we want to have like party gold? So we have an extra, like we split it 7 ways, and then we have an extra one for like spells and reagents and
Bad
things.
idea. That's a
Yeah,
pretty good
yeah.
idea, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, we can talk about that in the week.
Yeah.
All right, then in that case, let's finish there, shall we?
Okay.
Because you just rest up for the night, and we'll start from the next day.
Cool.
Okay. Great. Thanks for playing, Ron.
All right.
Thanks for running.
See you next week. Legend,
Right,
Shadow, Legend, raids, Spat raid, porn spammers.
40 million power.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go.
Oh.
All right. See you later. Zach.
Bye.
OGL
Bye.
1.1.
Sorry about
Whoop
that.
whoop.
No, that's
Bye.
right.